It hasn't even been like that long since the last time I played one of these games. Playing what, a week, and now I'm playing one again because Random told me to. Sort of. Yeah, in the intro of the last video I said, you know, the next time Random gives me a game I already picked, instead of re-rolling, I'll just choose the nearest option. And it did that, and this was the thing directly above it, so it's getting played. So yeah, the person who made Crimson Vermilion and the other game, whose name I can't remember, the one with Mercy in it, yep, none of those, so... yapping. A lot of it. Rise and shine, it's a great day to have an incident. Thank God you're not Marissa. It's almost 9 o'clock, and then I should head over to the shrine and tell Rainbow about the incident I planned for today. I'll make sure to wake her up in the most annoying way possible. I can use the icons that will show up at the right side of the screen to move around. The lowest one will take me to the shrine, but I have enough time to visit some other places first. I am currently at my house. Should I head over to Moria Shrine, Gimbu Ravine, Misty Lake, Reimu's Place? Legal name? Hello, Kanako. Yukari, I can't wait to watch the incident today. It's going to be great. That's the whole conversation. I just want to point out, so what just happened is Yukari just like gapped out of the thing there, and Kanako was like, "Hi Yukari, I can't wait for this incident." She's like, "Yep," and then she left again. I assume everyone's used to it by now. Hello, Notori. Hey Yukari, do you need something fixed up, or do you want to buy some new gadgets? Just passing by, though I do need to get some contraptions fixed, so I'll come by sometime tomorrow. Alright, see you later then. Hello, Cherno. Oh, the lake water is so cool in the morning. Enjoying the morning chill. Yeah, the morning chill is the best part of the day. Wow. Surprisingly not chatty these people are today, huh? Good morning, Reimu. It's 9 a.m. I hope you're awake. Good morning, Kari. What's up? Are you awake? Well, I came here to tell you about... I can use the Z key and not the mouse to continue. Oh, are you here about the incident? Yeah, about the incident. How do you already know? Don't worry, I already have some plans drawn up. I'm heading over to Moria Shrine to talk to Snai about cooperating. Really? Really? Really, computer? You're gonna act up now? I'm assuming you're running some programs in the background and you're not struggling to run a visual novel, are you, computer? I don't know, you're kind of like 5 years old now, so... Yeah, I'll be heading out in a few minutes. Okay, something seriously wrong here. Reimu woke up early, is already informed about the incident, is proactively trying to solve the incident, is cooperating with Moria Shrine. Must be something nefarious going on behind the scenes. I see, good luck, Reimu. Thanks. Should head back home, because then she'll be able to give me some advice. Like the polar opposite of the last of these games I played, where like most of the characters, except for like Yomu, were characters that I have a bit to do a stupid voice for, but no, it's just, it was pretty normal today, huh? Just talk normally. You have anything new to say, Cherno? No, you don't. I use the mouse anyway. Where was Kasen again? I wasn't really paying attention. There you go. Good morning, Yukari. Is the incident going well? Actually, about the incident, there are some issues. What's wrong? Well, I went to tell Rainbow about the incident, but she was already awake. At 9 a.m.? Yeah, isn't that weird? She even already knew about the incident. I guess that means that someone else woke her up early and told her about it. Yeah, but that's not all. Not only did she already know about the incident, she also already had plans drawn up to resolve it. Reimu did. That's a bit odd. She said she was going to cooperate with Moria Shrine to resolve the incident. Why would she cooperate with her competitors of all people? It's really all quite unlikely. That said, I do recall something like this happening once before, several months back when I took her for hermit training. She became really motivated for a few days and returning. It didn't last long, but it's pretty close to what you described. Man, something happening in the manga that didn't last long and ultimately didn't matter. Who would have thought? But you didn't do anything this time, did you? No, and other than you and me, I don't know who else could be responsible for such a drastic change. Let me propose a solution. What if I'm dreaming? Well, since I am aware of my own consciousness, you can't be dreaming, though admittedly that runs to the solipsistic objection, doesn't it? Yeah, it's impossible for someone else to be conscious of my dream, but at the same time, there's no way for me to truly verify that you're actually an independent conscious being and not just a figment of my imagination. Yukari, can you take a look at the clock on the wall and tell me what time you see? It says 5:17. Alright, now look at me. And look at the clock. What time do you see? Still 5:17. Well, that's the only trick I know. Dreams tend to have significant internal inconsistency, so if you look at a clock twice, you'll often see completely different times. Maybe we should call Dormy over. She might know more. Sure, let me pull her through a gap real quick. Or sheep, 5 sheep, she or sheep, my sheep. Oh, what did I get here? Instant teleportation? Am I dreaming? Do you dream? Is that actually been answered? It's kind of just assumed since you're always in the dream world, you're always, like, sort of dreaming? I don't know. Right, you here, Dormy, I need your help. Because there's no dream Dormy in 15.5, right? So doesn't that imply she doesn't dream at all? Oh, Yukari, having trouble sleeping again? Maybe there was. How long ago did I, like, look at the plot of that game? Quite the opposite. I think I might be stuck in a dream right now. Of course you're not stuck in a dream right now. Oh, really? Was it that simple? Is what I would obviously say if it was a figment of your imagination appearing to you in a dream. Oh, I see. That's a solipsistic problem all over again, isn't it? Yeah, basically, if you're stuck in a dream, then you're precisely when you can't trust people telling you you're not dreaming. After all, if you're stuck in a dream, then those people are dream constructions that will try to keep you stuck here. Even I, the king of dreams, might be misrepresented within a dream. Then what exactly am I supposed to do? Did I ever tell you about the time I had a dream? I think I did, because I talked about all my dreams at some point. It was when I, like, lost my old subconscious. Basically, I was having a dream, and, like, the whole time I was dreaming, I was like, this doesn't feel right. This is a dream, isn't it? Right? But then it kept going, and it just didn't stop, and it was like, at some point I was like, alright, this isn't a dream. Then I woke up. It's like, god damn it. Let me give you a few solutions. First, dreams usually have significant discrepancy with memory. So, for example, you know how to wear a red Santa hat? If one day you saw me wearing a yellow Santa hat, and everyone insisted that, in fact, I had always worn a yellow Santa hat, you might be in a dream. That also means that dreams involve forgetting things almost immediately after they occur. However, since you won't notice that you're forgotten those things, you won't be able to use that to tell that you're dreaming. Second, dreams lack consistency. So you look at a clock and it shows 2:34, and then you look away and back and now it says 7:55. That's dream stuff. Finally, well, let me just give you the prompt first. Let's say Rainbow and Marissa are sitting in a room. Rainbow puts her Rainbow puts her Gohei under the table and then leaves. Marissa, being a prankster, takes the Gohei and puts it inside her drawer. Rainbow comes back when where will Rainbow look for the Gohei? On the table. Normally, this is a problem that outside scientists ask of children to detect whether they understand that other people have different mental states from them. Very young children will say that Rainbow will look in the drawer because they don't understand that Marissa and Rainbow have access to differing knowledge about the state of the world. A dream is not complex enough to thoroughly simulate other people's mental states. This means that you will often run into a situation where people will share knowledge that they have, regardless of whether or not it would take sense for them to have that knowledge. In other words, you'll see Rainbow who looks at the drawer first. It won't happen all the time, but it will happen often. That makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of applying that problem to dreams. Speaking of which, Dormic, what do you know about outside scientists are doing nowadays? That's not information you have access to, is it? I have access to literally everyone's dreams, right? So I can look at scientists' dreams and know what they're thinking, right? Or something? Or is this... I'm having to remember Touhou lore again. You're the ruler of all dreams, right? Not the ruler of Kinsokyo's dreams, like Eiki is the judge of just Kinsokyo. You're the ruler of everyone's dreams or something, right? How do you manage something like that? It's a lot of dreams, a lot of people. Sounds possible. It's because I read it in a book I brought from Inosuke. Yep, that's right. Well, that all said, I guess I should go and watch over the incident. If I'm to find any evidence for the dream hypothesis, I'll find it there. Good plan. I need to talk with Dormy, so I'll stay here for a while. Remember when I said people weren't that talkative? Yep, that lasted. That's real long, isn't it? Yukari, if you feel stuck at any point, come back here and ask me for help. I should be able to give you advice. Alright, I'll be back soon. I've been stuck in a dream before. Worst part was, since I'm the king of dreams, I didn't expect it was possible for it to happen to me. You mentioned that Rainbow was going to Moria Shrine, right? In that case, why don't you go there as well? Or I could go to every other option first. Why is Mima here? Hi there. Mima, what are you doing here? Nothing suspicious. I'm just doing reconnaissance for the incident. I'm planning soon. Just reconnaissance. Alright, just make sure not to get in the way of today's incident. Of course, I would never randomly interrupt someone else's incident. I would never do that. Never. Yep. Yep. Sanai, couldn't we use 3 SAT to solve this problem? It's possible, but given the exponential runtime, we wouldn't finish today. If we could reduce the pool of suspects drastically, then we might be able to use it. I see. That's too bad. Oh, Yukari, Sanai had an issue that I think you could help her resolve. Can you talk to her about it? First thing we need to do is resolve this incident and find the imposter, but I can't see how we should go about finding them. Yeah, it's really tough, you know. I think we should just look for everyone who's kind of sus and exterminate them. I don't think that's a good idea. I have a lot of false positives like that. Maybe it's not uncommon for people to act unusual. For example, today you two are cooperating on an incident despite being competitors. Mercer were investigating this incident. Wouldn't you have to keep both of you down as suspicious? Oh, Yukari, good morning. Yukari says, I think we'd run into a lot of false positives if we mark people down as suspicious simply because they're acting unusual. We mark down a lot of people who are simply doing new things. What about the other way around? Is it possible for there to be a false negative? In other words, is it possible for the imposter to act normally so we don't suspect them? Is an imposter by definition someone who's sus? No, an imposter is by definition someone who imposts. Someone who imposts is by definition a tax collector. What? Then why is it called imposter? I think it's cognate with modern poser, though the old French verb poser. Oh, and just in case you can't hear me speak these words, French poser rhymes with the name Jose, since word finder is pronounced like E, E-X, and A. Rainbow doesn't know what French is. I see. As Rainbow suggests, an imposter is someone who poses as someone they're not. If they pose well, they won't be sus. If they pose badly, they will be sus. In that case, is there a different way to smoke out an imposter instead of examining people's behavior for sussiness? Is there some other method we could use? Kari, remember that thing you mentioned earlier? The identity of the Misty Lake. I think that could give us a clue as to how to proceed from here. What? Did I mention something like that? It was kind of offhand, so maybe you don't remember, but I think it might give us a hint on how to find the imposter. In that case, why don't I go take a look? How do you do this fine morning, Yukari? Bit under the weather, regrettably. How about you? For several hours, how do I sit here, pondering the question of what exactly the Misty Lake is? Thy visit brings me hope of a swift resolution to this puzzling matter. Well, I suppose I could help. What problem are you trying to resolve? What exactly is the Misty Lake, and what exactly is not the Misty Lake? That precisely is the matter for which I grapple this fine morning. This is the Misty Lake. It is as you say, though it was more precise. If this were to cease to be misty, would it yet be the Misty Lake? It's fairly common that descriptive names cease to accurately describe their subject. Outside, there's a place called Springwater, derived from sprightly, because it bordered a particularly fast river. Much later, the river dried up, but the place is still called Spritewater to this day. I don't think that's unusual. Author's note, this is made up. I didn't have time for every place like this. Yeah, it's a fair assessment. However, consider this. If this place were to cease to be a lake, would it yet to be called Misty Lake? I suppose not. Actually, if the lake dried up tomorrow, I think we'd call this place the place where the Misty Lake used to be. I agree, but let us examine the phrasing. The place where the Misty Lake used to be. If the lake were to dry up, what is it that has disappeared? What precisely is it that no longer is? It seems to me that by the definition of dry up, we must say that the water has disappeared. Are you suggesting that that analysis is wrong? It cannot be correct. All the water in this lake today will have disappeared within a month, simply by the vagaries of the water cycle. If it is replaced by the rain, the Misty Lake is preserved. If it is not replaced by the rain, the Misty Lake ceases to be. In other words, what matters is not the water disappears, but whether or not it is replaced. But the replacement water is not a part of the Misty Lake right now, so the fundamental essence of the Misty Lake is the rainwater of the future. See? An absurd result, is it not? This is a puzzle for which I find myself afflicted today. Yukari, if you can look at Chirno talking like this and not immediately tell that you're in a dream, I don't know what to tell you. You just want to keep sleeping at this point. How can one in a good conscience say that the Misty Lake is the Misty Lake because rain will fall from the skies in the future? Is it not? It's not an obvious absurdity. Actually, I think it makes sense. Consider the stages of the water cycle: rainfall, water collection, in lakes and oceans, evaporations, and the cloud formation. This is the water cycle game. That's a completely different game you made. Other than the few persistent forms of water, such as glaciers, all water in this world exists as part of the water cycle. To be in the second stage of the water cycle is precisely to be in the general positive position of receiving rainfall and runoff. So perhaps a lake is a lake precisely because rain will fall in the future. While the definition may work generally, it lacks specificity. Consider this counterexample. Let us say that there exists a place where it rains on the first of each month, and this rain is what gives life to the lakes and rivers. Now, let us say that in the first of the fourth month, it does not rain, beginning a drought. As a result, a certain lake dries up at the end of the fourth month. At what point do that lake cease to be a lake? Naturally, you say that it ceases to become a lake when it dries up at the end of the fourth month, but for the definition of a lake is a lake precisely because the rain will fall in the future. It ceases to be a lake on the second day of the third month, which is the point of the rain, which will no longer fall in the future. How absurd, precisely. I just can't seem to find a good definition. Just what is the identity of the Misty Lake? Yep. Wax philosophy, that is. I'm stuck on a bit of the matter of the Misty Lake. More specifically, what makes a lake, and when does a lake stop being a lake? You're arguing definitions, Yukari. Go do something else. You're right. The problem of how future rainfall defines a present lake is quite thorny. I'm pretty sure the answer is simple, but I can't think of it on the spot. Why don't you try asking someone who lives in the water? Maybe look for someone at the ravine? Okay. Iku, what are you doing here? As I told you earlier, I live here. What? I thought you lived in heaven. Of course not. I'm an oarfish, so obviously I live in water. I see, that makes sense. Anyway, is Notori here? Notori? No, I don't think there are any Tories here. You should be able to find some if you go downhill, though. To get back to the topic, I would say the lake is lake because of two factors. Its capacity to hold water in a certain configuration and actually holding water in the configuration. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Doesn't the water that constitutes the lake today simply evaporate tomorrow? You're making a category error. You call the water that constitutes the lake. However, it's actually some water that constitutes the lake. The identity of the water in the lake doesn't matter. Water is just water. Wait, was it that simple all along? Yes, land. Or was this the water cycle game? Maybe this was the water cycle game. Okay, at least I can knock this off the list as something I don't have to dread for the future. Actually, I think at this rate, the only one of these games I haven't played is the one where it's like Reimu yells at people in the snow or something. Yes, land dwellers think of water in terms of its different flows, but to sea dwellers, water only differs by its composition. We could specify that a lake must be filled with fresh water, but beyond that, it's not like water has any particular identity. You tried to assign an identity to the water. You tried to distinguish the water day from the water tomorrow, even though they are the same thing. That is why you failed, land dweller. I see, that makes sense, but does that logic generalize? For example, when we say that an empty reservoir is still a reservoir, in that respect, it's in the presence of the water, not the key here. Reservoirs are man-made structures. They are intentional in that they are built to collect water. I don't believe it's justified to compare them to lakes, which are accidents of nature. Then what about rivers? Isn't it said that one never steps in the same river twice because the flow of the water changes the river? Well, that's obviously false. Haven't you, Yukari, stepped in the Sanzu River at least twice? Can you go to that right away? A river is a river because some water flows, not because the water flows. Only a human drunk on the power of formal logic could think otherwise. Can I really just cut the nest of this knot so easily? Yes, water is fungible after all. Stop trying to make non-fungible logical entities out of everything, and your life will be a lot simpler. I think I've solved the problem of the persistence of water. Then you should go discuss it with Cherno to resolve the question of the identity of the Misty Lake. How do you do this fine morning, Yukari? I've been under the weather. Wait a minute. Huh? Great coincidence indeed. Great minds think alike. As I said, have you found the functional solution? A lake is simply a basin where some water persistently exists. The identity of the water is irrelevant. Does the water that constitutes the Misty Lake today not simply evaporate tomorrow? The lake is constituted not by water, but by the presence of water. No matter what water is present, it's still the same lake. Oh ho ho! You have cut the Gordian knot in such brilliant fashion! To be honest, I can't feel like this was a silly game of semantics all along. Shouldn't it have been obvious from the start that a lake is just a place where there's some water? Well, you like silly games of semantics, that's why you're dreaming of this garbage. I guess that is true. If I were to dream of something, I'd like to dream arguing over the definition of a lake for hours on end. Go get a hobby. Wait, did you just say that I'm dreaming? Yes, but if you're dreaming, then you can't trust my words. Is that what then make me an unreliable figment of your imagination? In other words, your dreaming is another variant of the I am lying paradox. How beautifully pedantic. I never imagined such an absurd formulation. But that aside, what are you doing here? As I said, I'm here because you're dreaming, otherwise wouldn't it be impossible for me to be here? No? How strange, your eyesight must be clouded. How many fingers am I holding up? 3! No, I'm holding up 7 fingers! People only have 5 fingers. See, that's the thing, if you're dreaming basic facts of life, like how many fingers people have get contorted, so it's very common for people in dreams to have 6 or 7 fingers. In fact, that I'm holding up 7 fingers is proof that you're dreaming. Oh, you're only holding up 3 fingers. No, that's just because your eyesight is clouded. I can assure you that I'm holding up 7 fingers. I swear kids these days only know how... how to be bisexual, eat, hike, strip, and lie. Fine then, I'll give you some harder proof. What time did you go to the Hakare Shrine this morning? Around 9 o'clock! And when you go back and talk to Kasen, what time did you see the clock? It was 5:15 or something. Oh, shit. Okay, now look up at the sky. What time does this brilliant morning sun look like to you? Around 11! You don't find that suspicious? I guess the clock in my house is running 10 hours past. Like hell it is. Go check it right now. Alright, be right back. It says 3:41. You don't find that. I suppose the clock in my house is running backwards. Like hell it is. Go check it again. Alright, be right back. It says 3:42. You don't find that. I suppose the clock in my house is randomly switching between running backwards and forwards at variable speeds. Dear Amadababuda, you're fucking stupid. It's not your fault. Common sense doesn't function very well in dreams. I understand what you're saying, but a clock randomly running backwards and forwards at variable speeds is enough for me to be sure I'm dreaming. I need better proof than that. Anyways, I have to go talk to Sanai. I'll be taking my leave now. Sanai is involved in an instant resolution this time. You mean Marissa, right? Oh yeah, Marissa asked me to find out about the identity of Misty Lake. What are you doing? Marissa, couldn't we use the knapsack algorithm to solve this problem? I had to do that yesterday. What a coincidence that is. It's possible. Again, the exponential runtime, it wouldn't finish today. If we could reduce the pool of subsets drastically, then maybe we could use it. You doing a 0-1 or are you doing an infinite? I see, that's too bad. How are you, Car? You trying to think about the identity of Misty Lake? Yes, I'm not exactly sure how it's related, but the Misty Lake is the name we bestow onto a specific water basin when it is filled with water, regardless of the specific identity of that water. Oh, how could I have missed that? Finding the imposter is just like the freshwater-saltwater distinction. Now that I recall, Eco did say something about lakes always having fresh water, and then let's say that there's an imposter pretending to be X. The social role of X is like the lake's basin. It can be either filled by the true person or the imposter. In his case, the true person would be like freshwater, and the imposter like saltwater. Exactly, and that text is somehow even worse than how I normally do the voice. Exactly, and though I can't say if a lake would still be a lake if it were filled with salt water, I can say that such a happening would be incredibly sus. I say it's a good metaphor for how imposters function in society, but how we use this to find the imposter? Ain't it obvious? We're gonna like in the wire. Come again? Ain't the obvious? We're gonna like criterion. That's right, let's start over ravines and I think we'll be able to narrow down the list of suspects after going through the ravine. If we're lucky, we'll have enough evidence to pinpoint the culprit immediately. Let's go, Reimu! Why the ravine? Still giving me advice, Kasen. Go to the ravine. Kari, have you found any proof that you're dreaming? Not at all. I haven't been able to find anything suspicious. Keep looking at this point. I'm pretty sure you're dreaming, to be honest. If I'm dreaming, that makes you a figment of my imagination, and I can't trust you. Exactly. So do you have to find the proof yourself? Or I could be the actual Dormy that can go in your dreams. Hello, Suako. Why are you here? I can't read that language. Hey, do you know what this place is? It's the forest magic. If it weren't, I wouldn't be here. Oh, I thought it was Moria Shrine. I see. Now that you mention it, it certainly is Moria Shrine, but then why am I here? Why is it a problem for you to be here? I assert, logistically speaking, if a location X is the force of magic, then I am President X. Since this place is not the force of magic, I cannot be here. The logic is incorrect. Denying the antecedent is not valid for a form of logical reasoning. Apologies, I skipped a few steps. I also assert that given a mutual disjoint set of locations, it's possible for me to be in only one of these places at a time. Do you accept this statement? Yes, I think it's fair to say that one can't be in two locations at the same time. Now consider the set of locations formed by the Force of Magic Moria Shrine and all the other disjoint locations under consideration. Given my logical assertion, I am in the Force of Magic, and due to the only one restriction, I cannot be here at the Moria Shrine. Do you understand now why it's not possible for me to be here? I think you're hiding an assumption here. How do you know that there exists a location called the Force of Magic? What if no such location exists, and therefore the set of locations described is impossible to construct? Are you suggesting the Force of Magic doesn't exist? Perhaps the Force of Magic is comparable to Atlantis, and that is an unidentifiable place that does not exist. We can form the logical statements of the form if a location is X is Atlantis, then false specifics of the consequent don't matter if the antecedent is never satisfied. Oh, I see. If we deny the existence of the Force of Magic, then it is possible for me to be here. Thanks for the help. I guess that means this is Moria Shrine after all. Say something, Miba. Rainbow, where's Sanai? Sanai? Why would I be working with Sanai? She's a competitor. I will work alone on incidents. Oh, I must have misremembered. Wait, misremembering. This is exactly what Dormy mentioned earlier. This is proof that I'm dreaming. I need to go back and talk to Dormy right now. Sega, what are you doing here? Where are Dormy and Casson? Sega, is that who I've appeared as to you? Can't really make out your form at the moment. Yeah, you more or less look like Sega. I see. In that case, are you familiar with the Purple Heart Paradox? I think so. It's a bit hard to recall. Of course, for me to name it, you must at least know of it. Let me recount it for you. A researcher with a deck of cards pulls out a card one at a time and asks the subject to name the color and number on each card. Not the suit, but the color. At first, all the cards seem to be from a standard playing card deck, a red 3 of diamonds, a black 8 of spades, and so on. But then, after going through 30 or 40 cards, the researcher pulls out a purple 2 of hearts. When the subject sees the purple 2 of hearts, they say, the color's red, and the number's 2. Then the subject assumes that it is a standard playing card deck, and therefore is unable to perceive cards that are not from a standard playing card deck. More formally, when faced with phenomena that do not conform with their worldview, people will simply force them into their worldview without ever noticing the contradiction. This is the Purple Heart Paradox. It's not really a paradox, but if I call it a paradox, it abbreviates to PHP, and it's just as mind-boggling as PHP, wouldn't you say? No, PHP is worse. But, are you suggesting that you aren't Sega, but a Purple Heart that I'm perceiving as Sega? Exactly. Luckily, it's not particularly difficult to resolve the Purple Heart Paradox. Simply draw attention to the truth, and the scales will fall. Look, and you shall see I am... Yo! Again! I was you all along. Don't you understand, Batman? This whole time, you think you've been fighting me, but really you've been fighting your own inner demons. I was never real. Where is Harvey Dent, Batman? You know where Harvey Dent is. Just look in your mind. You know where you put him. What the? But I'm me. What, are you an imposter? Everyone in this world is an imposter that you yourself have concocted. Every single one of them is a purple heart, a corrupted representation of the flow of the id. That, comrade, is the precise nature of dreams. This note, let me ask you something. Who is accompanying Raven's investigation today? It's an I, or was it Marissa? But she said she does investigations alone. It's you. What? You are the one accompanying Raven's investigation. However, as you are providing Rainbow with more help than you normally do, you dreamed up someone else to take your place by Rainbow's side. That's bullshit. Why would I do that? That's just nonsensical. To Freud, dreaming is a battle in which the id unleashes its desires and the superego attempts to censor these desires. You desire at a fundamental level to take part in Rainbow's investigation, but you also recognize your duty as the eminence grace of Gensokyo prevents you from doing so. That is why, even as you realize your desire to help Rainbow in this dream, your superego will not allow you to stand by your side. Ah! Shit, I fucked up. Looks like this is it for me. Your superego won't let me stick around any longer, Yukari, to end this dream and find the... I'm dead. She's gone. I have no choice. I'll go back and watch over Reimu's investigation. One day you will say something different, right? One of you... Oh, you're gonna make ghost results again. Oh, it's a mistake. Hey, Reimu, how's the investigation going? Oh, Sanai, I found something suspicious. Take a look at this. I'm Yukari, not Sanai. Oh, sorry, Marissa, I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, take a look at this. Huh? I'm Yukari, not Marissa. What are you saying? Look at your reflection in the water. You're quite obviously Marissa. What the fuck? Anyways, Marissa, I found an iron peach here. It means someone from heaven was around. Probably Tenchi. She's too stupid to be an imposter put in verse, but that'd make it easy to pretend to be her, so... What is this? What is this? That can't be right. Marissa, are you listening? Marissa, look here. No, I won't accept such an absurdity. I'm Yukari, not Marissa. 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 I'm Yakumo Yukari, Yokai Boundaries, creator of Gensokyo, one of them, the most powerful being in all the three realms. Marissa. Meh. Re. What's up? Ma! We're fucking Marissa outside the house. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm Yukari. Is this what Sega meant? My own mind won't let me imagine myself directly helping Reimu with her investigation. At least the basic logic is true. Organizing incidents is my duty as the creator of Gensokyo. Given that duty, I don't have the right to work with Reimu on incident resolution. You've done that in multiple main games. But you know, Reimu might as well be my daughter. I'd really like to do incident resolution with her, even just once. Me, Cassette, and Reimu doing incident resolutions together. Is that too much to ask for? At the least, in the dream, it's too much. What use is this power of mine if I can't even grant me such simple wishes? Oh, what a shame. Well, there's not much left to do at this point. I know that I'm dreaming now. If I want to, I could probably leave this dream, but I think that I want to work with Reimu on instant resolution, even have to call myself Marissa to do so. I will see this dream to the end. Oh, she's gone. They're all gone. Reimu. Seems that Reimu isn't here. The Iron Peach she mentioned also isn't here. I guess I should look for her. She might even have Resolve installed already. Wait for me, Reimu. Let me do this alone. It's right where you said it would be. They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you. Reimu, what are you doing here? We're setting the dormant. Yukari, I found the culprit behind today's incident. Alrighty, good luck. Good work, Reimu. Though I was hoping it'd take you a bit longer. I'm not talking to you. Stop pretending. What? But you just said my name. An imitation, be it cornered, must not cease to imitate, lest it lose its very essence. What? Who said that? Good afternoon. The clock says 8:29, but I can assure you it is currently afternoon. All said, it seems we have finally reached the end game. Hey, what are you doing here? Taiga. Is that who I've appeared as to you? Well, if you wish it, so let it be. It matters no longer. I have arrived to deliver you from suffering, Yukari. Come, Reimu, do you remember what I taught you? Exterminate the impostor among us. Amogus. 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 Amugase? Amugiusi. Amogiusi. Oh, shit! Dear Buddha, what the hell was that? A nightmare? That was the worst nightmare I've had in a while. Well, no matter, it'll be 9 soon as I get ready and head to the shrine. Today's an incident day, so I have to tell Reimu. Currently at my house. Is this the same dialogue as the beginning? Suspicious. Yes, very. Yukari has woken up in the dream. I've also done that. Good morning, Rainbow. It's 9 a.m. I hope you're awake. Blah, 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 blah. Give me a minute. Yukari, why do you have to wake me up so early? Well, you see, there's an incident today. Oh, alright. In that case, go back to sleep and take care of the incident in the afternoon. Night, Yukari. You desire. Have fun about the level to take part in the Rainbow's investigation, but you also recognize that your duty as the eminence gracie of Gensokyo prevents you from doing so. Is that alright? No, I won't accept it. I am the most powerful being in all the 3 realms. There is no reason I cannot do what I wish. That won't do, Rainbow, not today. What? Why not? Because today I'll be partnering up with you in your investigation. Yo, doesn't that defeat the point? Well, I get to decide what the point is, and deciding that the point is such that by partnering with you doesn't defeat the point, so let's resolve this incident together, Rainbow. Fine, if you're going to help me, then put some breakfast together while I get ready. Don't forget to brush teeth, Rainbow. I know that. Well, I think there's only like one of these games left at this point. At this rate, it's not going to be too long until round gives me to me again. Well, that was that. This is about what's to be expected by this point. So yep. Next time I will play something else that will probably be in the same jam that I've played multiple times because random keeps giving me the same numbers. Anyway, bye.